Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2019, Stage Racer episode number 62. We've hit the beginning of our fitness peak, so good timing for that. And we're on to my favorite race that we are absolutely awful at. Quite awful indeed. It's Paris-Roubaix, and even though we are an 80 overall, our cobble rating is a 59. Our flat rating is a 66, and our stamina is a 70. Those are the most relevant attributes to today's race. I will not be a team leader. There is literally zero chance of that, and I would be massively surprised if we were actually selected to be team leader for this event. With that being said, I will take my teammate role in stride. I'll do my duty. I'll do my work as early as possible, because once we hit those cobbled sections, good luck. Wout van Aert is the favorite today, it appears. Definitely not us. Gosh, I was so surprised. We weren't on the top 10 favorites list? What? No, yeah, definitely not surprised. Anyway, we'll do our work. We'll put our kilometers in at the front prior to the beginning of the cobbled sections, and then we will just drive to survive. We will go as long as we can, as far as we can, and get as high of a placement as we can in the order. If we can crack the top 50, that would be freaking awesome, because we have very little chance of even doing that. It's a big field, and we should be very much near the back end of it. Especially if I don't have any team support. That's going to make it worse. So I know I'm going to get dropped. I'm going to get dropped early, and we'll kind of ride home. But I'm still curious as to see who will finish at the top in the velodrome in Roubaix. Things should be just about ready to load here. Matteo Trentin, Massey, Turgis here for us. I'm thinking Trentin is going to be the team leader. Right, he's got a good cobble rating, doesn't he? Alright, and here we go. Teammate, work, 40k. No leader. Even Trentin is a teammate. Massey, Bewley, Ermino are your free elements. We have no team leader for this. We couldn't muster up a single good rider for Paris-Roubaix? Apparently not. And I've got to put the work in then for who? Who am I working for? Yeah, game. That's what I thought. Strange one. I understand that that's my role, to work. But there's not even anyone to work for, so why do they have me working? Instead of, maybe myself going in the break and blowing up even earlier. Actually, hey, look at this! We have a 68 flat rating. We have a 63 cobble rating. That's still really horrendous. Quite horrendous, actually. But stamina, 76. Yeah. Now look at this. We are not going to win a sprint. Mm-hmm. And all those climbs, over and over again. Yeah, nope. Yeah, we'll win those climbs. Those very non-existent climbs. All right, 5 min in the break, just over a minute ahead. So that might not be set in stone just yet on who's there. Dowsett, Vermeulen, Hermans, Arnsman, and Rolands. It's a pretty decent breakaway group for such a small one. But here at Paris-Roubaix, five guys are never going to get the job done. Alright, well, we've already pulled off 9k at the front. We get a little breather, and we head right back to the front. So we'll kind of keep rolling through for now. And in the meantime, I'm going to very quietly here change my battery before the battery in my mouse decides to die, which, of course, did not warn me until about 2 minutes ago after... No, Massey, you're not the team leader here. I'm not working for you. Remember, nobody was assigned his leader. That's 20k. We're halfway there. Guessing takes over. He's coming up a little short on his mark. There we go. There we go. Should be approaching that 75% mark here quite soon. There it is. 10k to go. Of course, we need to put in an additional 10k if we want the excellent rating, and I most certainly do. I've already burned up some of that extra stamina that we came in with today. I've also burned up a little bit of that resistance, extra resistance that we've come in today. Those two things will help me out later on, and we're nearly to our goal, and I'll be pulling back here in just a little bit from here. And the only way I know that we hit excellent is if we get to 50k on this screen. So here we are watching the screen go by and looking at feet pedal. Almost there, almost there, almost there. There's 50. And we're done. Speaking of done, we're done. We're done. Ease off, ease off. Say hello to your little teammates. Well, they're not so little. Actually, we're quite little compared to them, aren't we? Water, Turgis, thank you. Thank you, sir. 3.5 minute gap to those 5 riders. They were never joined by anyone else. My recovery is, well, certainly not where you'd want it to be. I'd like to be right up there like these guys. Durbridge, see, -3, he's hurting. But I'm not on a -3. I just worked 50 kilometers at the front of the field for no reason for the team that doesn't have a team leader. Logic. I would love to see. I like the way that they do the Pro Cyclist mode. I like that you have objectives that you work towards and you get extra points for all of that. It's fantastic. It's a great feature to the game. But it's a feature that needs tweaking. Very much needs tweaking. For instance, there is zero reason why a team like ours that has no hope GC or to win this race, this classic, as we head into the first sector of the day.
We're getting close to Twaville, the first cobbled section. Flat tire. It always happens at the wrong moment.
For now, I don't mind sliding backwards and not wasting energy, but eventually pace is going to start picking up, and actually eventually I'm really just going to end up getting dropped. So for now, let's try to move back up. That's one sector down. There should be 22 to go. Anyway, I would absolutely love to see in the future them tweak the format on how those objectives are decided. For example, being a teammate does not mean working at the front. It can mean working at the front. And, you know, if you're the top 5 teams among favorites, then yes, you could expect 2, 3, 4, or all 5 of those times to commit riders to the front to chase down a breakaway. That's pretty normal stuff. So there's nothing weird about that. We actually already have some riders at the back here. So that's not unusual. But what is unusual is for a team with no favorites, not expected to be anywhere near the top 10, for them to be working at the front. No. You get them into the break, which was among the objectives, right? But definitely a teammate shouldn't be working for that. There should be other options, is all that I'm trying to say. So that there should be something besides just working at the front as a teammate goal. A couple examples could be going to retrieve water for your team 3 times over the course of the race. Now, who's to say you're not going to just go 3 times in a row right at the beginning of the stage? Or do you role play and do it when it's appropriate? Either way, at least it's another option. Likewise, protecting a rider for X amount of kilometers. That one makes a lot more sense on a stage, on a race like this one, as we are now struggling, and it's so early, 144k to go. We're only hitting, what, the 4th section? And I'm already nearly Out of energy. And yes, we are just exiting the 4th cobbled section. Couple more coming, couple more after that. Little break. We'll see if we can get a little recovery in here, but I actually don't really think it's going to happen. I think we are in a whole world of hurt. It's coming quite soon. So my hopes of a top 50 are fading already because there's still 130 in the peloton, and I'm going to get dropped before too long here. Little recovery. That's good. 3-star section. That one's not so bad. Nearly through it. One more coming, and then another little break. So for now, maybe we hang on. Peloton's actually coming back together a little bit. Some of the riders that were dropped already have returned. Some of the paces come out of the group. That's helping. Halfway, but not really halfway. Not really. Because we're only in the 6th cobbled section of presumably 23. I think that's the count in real life. So we're just getting water, so we'll have that taken care of soon. We'll have a little break here. Hopefully we can recover a bit, and we are. 2 more sections, another break. So we should get through at least these 2, recover, but then maybe that next sequence. 3 in a row. Short break, and then what is that? 3 in a row, very, very short break. 2 in a row, very short break. Somewhere in there, I think that's where we're going to end up getting dropped. Turgis gets back up here with the water, keeps on riding. And there you go. Made it through that one. Again, we're kind of just hanging on. Gently drop back. And then we can actually go even slightly more gently this time. We have plenty of cushion right now in terms of sliding back. All right, another lengthy break here. Has allowed a bit of recovery. But right now on the entire team, the only rider that I'm doing better than is the leader. So, Massey, the supposed leader, is the only one who's struggling more than I am right now. It does not look good for him. Peloton shrinking, 126 riders. This is a very lengthy section, and we're going to be going through the forest of Ehrenberg. It's Ehrenberg here very, very soon. And I've got a bit of ground to cover to get back into position and to also try to recover a bit, which does not appear to be happening right now. So, and this does seem to also be in real life where things start to step up. 5-star section, 2.2 kilometers in length. Onto the famous bridge. Oh, Pettit and just missed his crash there. Oh, a bunch of guys got caught up behind him there. Keep drifting back here. Vervecchi out. And I'm nearly out of energy, and I've technically been dropped, but it's a big group following a big group. There's a good chance that we'll still get back up there. But I don't have the energy to speed up right now, so hopefully, yeah, another split. We'll come back together here, but that gap in front of us is pretty big. There's some chase now, but I just have a little bit of energy, and it's time for the gel. 3-star section, 1.8K. I could be in trouble here. Yep, and I am. And look who it is. It's Massey. There's still 100 riders out in front of me, so it's going to take a lot for me to achieve my hopes and dreams of a top 50. Even with this beautiful race day condition. 4-star section coming up. Group coming together, but it's only 5 riders. And Massey's certainly not going to put the work in for me. He's no longer the leader. In fact, there is now officially no leader. Not that there ever was one in the first place, but he certainly tried to call himself that. Definitely not in last place. But you can see we're getting dropped There were 5 of us in the group, and other than 2, nope, now it's all separate. All 5 riding separately.
There's a cobbled section, its contribution can be vital. If it rains, a rider's agility is far more important than when it's dry. The pace is so high that a few riders are going to be
We
very
drop back an
sorry.
entire group.
There's another rider with a puncture. The sides of the road are not a tire's best friend. Oh my, that's a spectacular fall.
4-star section, 2K. And here comes that rain that they were just talking about. Oh, this is really going to mess things up.
Several riders are on the ground.
Alright, here's what I'm going to do.
Too serious.
It's time to start seeing... Oh, it's not going to do it because it's Pro Cyclist mode. Wow, there's Quintana. Which Quintana is it? It's not Nairo. Dyer Quintana.
Yet another flat tire. It seems to be catching. There's a report over the radio of a rider coming off his bike. But apparently, he's back in the saddle.
I can't get any further than Massey. So the only way we know what's going on now is from here. But that doesn't help us much. So we're the 18th group off the back. Robert Stannard, Cataford, Ben Hermans is here. Gessink. Oh, I got dropped. I got dropped on my head as a kid.
It seems to be catching.
Actually, I did. I'm not damaged goods, though technically I am. So I'm pretty much okay. I play soccer twice a week. I coach basketball. I engage in plenty of the drills and participate, demonstrate, show the kids what's going on. Coach volleyball and track and demonstrate high jump. So yes, I am athletic and capable in that manner. But I did break my back in the army, so technically I am damaged goods. So there you go. It's a little of both. Alright, so I am 13 minutes behind. Turgis and Matteo Trentin are still at the front. I thought Trentin was a bit better. He is a +4 today. That certainly helps, but he is hanging in there along with Turgis, and there is no time gaps, so no breakaway any longer. No surprise by that. In terms of where we're at, I'm more than halfway up. So as many riders as there are behind me, there are still many ahead of me. And in terms of gaps, anyway, I'm better than halfway through the field, but clearly not not doing well. Let's go and grab water. 55K to go. Such a long race. So punishing.
The group is slowly thinning out due to such a frantic pace. That's another rider with a flat tire. The road is really treacherous.
You can see the constant divides as the groups shift titles constantly, but A40. Meaning I am at least 38 groups off the back, and I keep getting caught by riders behind me over and over again, as I've not been able to recover whatsoever. At this point, I guess I really should just go 99 and effort and ride home as best we can. In the meantime, there's not much to see from here. Let's see if we see a little more from here. We do see the cow pasture. At least you don't have to smell the cow pasture.
Apparently, there's another puncture. The riders really should pay more attention to their choice of tires. Crossing a cobbled section is a
Hey, we passed somebody, but here comes a few guys about to pass me. There's somebody with
each section has its particularities, and on
the
some
Vo.
sections, it is make or break if you don't
Had
have
a
the right strategy.
puncture, but he goes right on back past us. There's Hermans again, Arnsum, Bowman. I think I saw Vervecchi in there.
Group nosedive, but as often happens, they're all getting back in the saddle.
4-star section coming up. We are no longer in the front half. Peloton getting further and further away, and actually there is some kind of break now. And there you go, Sagan going on the attack. Nelson, Tishbanu, Van Aert, all attacking. So Peloton is getting split off. Peloton includes Trentin and Turgis. Turgis just hanging on right now. They're only 12 seconds behind, so whoever's at the front, they're actually being caught. It's down to 6 seconds, 4 seconds, and it's all back together at the front. At least we can get those kind of updates as they're about to head into additional sections. So that's the final 6 cobbled sections for the leaders. 5 to go as they're about to roll into there. As I go through this one, it looks like I still have 8 to go. 8 to go. Four to go for the leaders. Trentin still in it. Turgis is now gone. Trentin hanging in there. Lampard, Jensen, Seneschal trying to attack. Can't get away though.
The talents of a tightrope walker, as the grip of the tires can't be counted on.
Attack by Sagan.
Sagan attacking. Asgreen, Kristoff. So still a pretty good sized group at the front. And now we're seeing separation. Trentin loses 40 seconds just like that. So in between those two sectors, whoever attacked that time opened a pretty healthy gap. Trentin now considered A1, no longer the peloton. Saez, just behind me, just went down. I'm 49, he was 51. Now I'm 52, so we see more separation of groups out in front. Going through a bit of a softer, gentler period here. I have no stamina left, so no wonder I'm really struggling here. But I am finally getting a little bit of yellow bar resistance back into me. Cruising through right here. One cobbled section to go for the leaders. And Trentin is not there. He's now A2, 45 seconds behind. So he's probably just come out of the final or penultimate cobbled section. And we're about to hit those 5 in a row with one more after that.
The finish line is getting close. The rider's just past the 10 kilometers road sign. That's another rider with a flat tire.
Okay, final cobbled section for the leaders. Meanwhile, I'm coming up on a 2-star section.
The dollar has fallen.
And the leaders will soon be approaching the end. They only have a few kilometers left. I have 27 still to go, so that is pretty dang far behind. I'm going to ease off and see if I can take a turn at the front here.
One thing's for sure when it comes to cobbled sections, there will always be a fight at the front as the riders enter.
I left him behind. That's okay.
Balls or breaks in the peloton. There's another rider with a puncture. The sides of the road are not a tire's best friend. We're into the last 5 kilometers.
Oh no, don't run out. Come on now. We got through it. Okay, here they go. They should be in the velodrome now. Van Aert, Sagan, Pollitt, somebody else among the attackers going for the win. Trentin's not going to be far down the order. I have just 4 cobbled sections left, but I am 22 kilometers behind. And there it is, the final sprint. Stuyven, Peter Sagan for the win. Seneschal second, Lampard, Pollitt, Nassen, Asgreen, Stuyven, and Van Aert. Group of 8 at the finish. They just left behind Janssen and Trentin. So our teammate gets 10th. Tish Benut, Van Mark, Stibar, Berial, Kristoff, just 15th for him. That's a disappointing finish, as Kristoff might be known as a sprinter, but he certainly is competitive when it comes to this type of classic. And Mads Pedersen, 16th. Colbrelli, Turgis gets 18th. And Tunison 19th. So we managed a 10th and 18th place finish. I feel like I just won. No, I don't. Not at all. I'm so not close either. I did get back to about halfway up the order, though. And I certainly left that one guy behind. 34 minutes behind. 35 minutes behind. I'll finish well within the time cut, but not looking good on that. Top 20 are long since done, so let's speed things up. Bewley, the next guy to come, he's 17 and a half minutes down overall. He finishes 63rd, so he was a lot closer to my goal than I was. There we go, coming up on the end. One more cobbled section down to go. Let's bring it on down for that. And we're going to roll into Roubaix, and then we're going to head into the sports arena area, I think, once we turn this corner. Yep, there it is, and into the Velodrome. Okay, 4K to go. We're going to win this one last little race right here against Rolance. One more corner to turn. 1K to go. And we easily leave him behind and sprint for 135th place. Last on the team. Ouch. We saved the best. Best what? Definitely not at this discipline. For last. So, Peter Sagan. Somebody who had a little bit of a difficult year, kind of for the first time since they really made their mark. Had that little bit of a difficult year this year. And here in game, his ratings are way down this year from where they've been normally. And he definitely does not get as many wins in game as he did in years past, you know, like FM 17, FM 18. Guy wins every, well, not every sprint. Wins a lot of sprints and a ton of classics. But definitely don't see his name up on top of the sheets as much this year. So he's got a bit of a lower rating. There's that original breakaway of 5. Hell of the North. Seems like a title for a Game of Thrones episode. Trenton, minute and a half behind. Coming in that next spot, 9th, 10th. That's a good finish for him. Good finish for the team. I did my part. And I finished oh so well. At 15 hours behind. AKA 44 minutes and 2 seconds. Beating Jürgen Rolance for 135th place. Out of 169 finishers. Be nice if I could train that up a little bit. Those specific attributes that matter on a day like this. But we get 19 points. And we had fun doing the race. Got a little bit of rain while we were at it. Luckily, did not crash. Did not have any punctures myself. So I'll take it. At this point, I'm not sure whether I want to cut forward. We're pretty far into the episode. I'm pretty far along to start making cuts now. We have a full week until we have another race coming up, at least. Oh, Liège, Bastogne, Liège. Okay. Sure, let's do it. So sorry about the non-cut nature of the episode, but it does save me a ton of time when I do this occasionally from time to time. So appreciate you sticking with me. If you want to skip forward a minute or two, by all means, go for it. And in the meantime, I've spoken about this in my weekly review episodes. Those, 6, 7, 8, 10, 15-minute episodes that come out every Sunday. But I know not very many people view those. I have opted to retire my Classics writer. That series started later. Didn't have very many views to begin with. And even though it was a loyal group who continued to watch it, it's never been at the level of this series or the level of the career mode series or even the PCM 18 career mode series for that matter. And so, lowest amount of views among PCM, and for me, honestly, it was a little frustrating from time to time. You know, I'd get out there to play, and I'd find that as a classic specialist, for one thing, there aren't a whole lot of races that feature that. And so I wasn't getting a whole lot of opportunities. And so there's a lot of just bypass, quick sim, bypass, quick sim. And then very much found that if you didn't have any team support, it was rough. But also making the jump from Continental Pro to World Tour in that discipline, suddenly you gotta face the best of the best every time there's classic because there's not that many to choose from. So they're all going to have that same schedule. So every time you go out, you're facing Sagan, Van Aert, and Van der Poel, and Alaphilippe. So everywhere you go, you face this difficult challenge that is having any hope of getting a decent finish. So then leveling up becomes a nightmare because there's no way to earn points. You're the leader and you're supposed to win every race, but you're far from strong enough to do so. And so you never place well, you never pick up points, you don't get to play teammate like I did there. I got 19 points at Paris-Roubaix. Even though I'm a stage racer, and I'm a good stage racer, I'm terrible in the classics on the cobbles. And yet I still managed to get 19 points by playing the teammate role. And I played it how I was supposed to play it. And I wound up with points, finishing 130-something in the field. So, as that classics rider, you finish third amongst the best classics riders in the world, which is a good spot to be in, and it's seen as a failure, and you earn 2 points, 3 points, 0 points. So it was getting a little frustrating how that was set up and how that continued to happen. Just wasn't a fan of that. But ultimately, and just being straight with you, being honest with you, as we're now just a day away, so we'll be heading into Liège-Bastogne-Liège here in just a second. So if you've stuck through and listened through this, thank you. Not a big deal if you skip forward, whatever, but thank you anyway. Let's go ahead and head into the race now. Let's be honest, 99.9% of those on YouTube, as much as they, or Twitch, or, any likewise service, as much as they might say they do everything for you, and we do cater to your needs as best we can, ultimately, we all do it for ourselves. We all do it for our own reasons. And it doesn't begin with for the sake of others. It includes that for many of us. Certainly not all, but many of us. It certainly includes that. It's a reason. It's one of the reasons. And I love to give you the best content that I can give you. But if I and all YouTubers were being honest with you, at the end of the day, there are selfish reasons involved. And when I started a YouTube channel, I did have in mind that I would eventually get to the point where it would earn compensation. Now, if I really cared about the money, I wouldn't have joined YouTube. I've had a channel for over 2 years now, and I have exactly 0 pennies ever earned. Not even 1 cent earned as a YouTuber. This is very much a hobby. And you may have heard me mention this before in one of those weekly review specials, again, as we're just loading this race up and I'm filling time randomly and didn't have any cycling stuff to talk about, other than, hey, Santos Tour Down Under. The year's getting started. I haven't seen it yet, though, but I will very much be tuning in to the Santos Tour Down Under, probably starting out this weekend, catching up with that. And I'm excited because new year, new riders on teams, and new sponsorships, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I would love to earn some amount of money on this channel. A hobby that pays is much better than a hobby that you pay for. And I have the hobbies that I pay for. I play soccer a couple times a week, and I pay to be in the league, and it's worth it, and I wouldn't give it up. I enjoy this as well. I'm the leader today. Hooray. I didn't see what place they want me to be in, though. What was it? Top 5. I would enjoy it regardless, and I have enjoyed it for the last 2 years, but I'd certainly like to get a little compensation out of it. That's just being honest with you. And I'm very close. I'm so close to that point where the channel earns it. So it's kind of, it's like, 1,000 subscribers. Hey, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I hope that you can at least appreciate what I and all YouTubers do in order to produce the content that we do. It's not that hard to sit down and play a game. This is not hard work. Okay, and I'm certainly not looking for a massive payday for that. It's just a hobby. But it does take a lot of time. And it does take quite the commitment to have a channel, to produce the amount of content that I've produced over the last 2 years. So, that being said, if you haven't subscribed, I would very much appreciate if you hit subscribe. Doesn't hurt you, doesn't cost you. It's not like other platforms like Twitch where you pay for subscriptions. So it doesn't harm you in any way. So last time, if you haven't already, please do subscribe. And for those who have, thank you. And let's get back on with the game. So, Liège-Bastogne-Liège, there are more than at least 8 riders off the front, as they're split off into 3 groups right now, and a breakaway is still forming. I do have leadership rolled for today, which is awesome. It's Liège-Bastogne-Liège. It's a classic, but there's no cobbles. It helps. There's not a whole lot of flat rating necessary, so it doesn't hurt as much there. Stamina, very much a factor at Liège-Bastogne-Liège, but of those 3 ratings, my stamina is the one that's not too bad. And with this fitness peak and a +2 race day condition, I've got a 75 today, meaning my stamina is tolerable. My resistance at an 82 is good. My hills at an 83 is good. My mountains, which certainly is a factor up until the final climb or 2, is at 85, which is stellar. Sprint's not great, so I have the acceleration. I can get a little separation, but I certainly can't win out in a sprint. It's Liège-Bastogne-Liège. It ends with a climb. So, who does it suit? Well, Alaphilippe. This has Alaphilippe or Alejandro Valverde written all over it. But I can compete at a race like this, unlike the other classic that we just finished up, Paris-Roubaix. That did not suit me one bit. And obviously, it showed. Regardless, it was fun. I have teammate support today. Mezgec, +1. Janssens, +2. Yeah, okay, Henley, -2, but he's a good, punchy guy. Hepburn, +2. Scottson, a 0. So only 1 negative within the field. Both Scottsons are 0s, by the way. Excuse me. So 187k to go. I'm in good shape. We've got some of the worst climbing already behind us. It's going to be relatively level for a good long while yet. 9 riders in the break, 7.5 minutes. Team's looking for a top 5. I think I could certainly pull off a top 5. But let's see who are we up against as Scottson takes a fall. Luckily I get through it unscathed. Dylan Toynes, Mark Hershey in it. That hurts them, or could hurt them. Just the 3 of them. Matthias Frank, Villalobos, Arnsman, Pedrero, Sepkus, Inkhorn, Vakara, Van Looy, and Rickart in the break. Matthias Frank, definitely a bit dangerous. Sepp Kuss could be dangerous in that group. Maybe Inkhorn, but otherwise, don't expect fireworks from that group. They've been given a pretty long leash, though, so it's certainly not a guarantee. Let's see who's here after we get through the team. You have, of course, the favorite Alpha Leap is here. Valgren, Shockman. It's back together, reset. Let's see. Toynes, Hershey. Yeah, there they are. And the favorites. So that crash did hurt them. Or could have hurt them. The recoveries could have done something. You could already see the big difference between that last race and this one. We put in that first 80 kilometers, and I'm still full strength with protection. And you see Scottson, who was among those guys. See how his stamina now a little bit lower, resistance a little bit lower. So Hershey and Toynes, that would have hurt them a little bit. Matthews, Mataway, back in, but that could have hurt them a little bit. Starting to see short little punchy climbs, but nothing drastic through here, so I'm not worried about the pace right now. We'll cruise through this. Hamilton, Bilbao with a puncture. Veldeman. But not Wim Veldeman. That was a K Veldeman. The AI picking Henley to go get water for the team now. Alright, now we're starting to get towards the interesting part of the race, or at least closing in on it. Just over 100k to go. There's one more gradual hill. Oh, and here comes the rain too. Alright, we're going to start getting into all these short, steep, punchy climbs, one after another after another. For now, it's mountain rating. It's all about the mountain rating. I'm at an 85, which is the end of the mountain rating list. I'm not blinking red, so the pace isn't hot. This is all mountain rating right now. There you go. Uphill, uphill, uphill. 10, 11 degrees. 85k to go. Already splits. It'll come back together. But the fact that it's already yo-yoing just from these short, steep climbs means that at some point those groups on the back, every time they play catch-up, every time they link back up, make contact, they're burning extra energy to remake that contact. So it will thin out. Yo-yoing for a little while. I'd say by this high point, this high peak, at least by that point we'll start seeing some separation that won't come back. You can see Scottson's tired, Mezgec is tired. All the guys on my team feeling it quite a bit, except for me. And now it is thinning out. We haven't even hit that climb yet. 89. The 9's still working together, but they're down to 2.5 minutes. Let's tune in for the climb. We'll pull back out for a little while after that, but right up front, nice spot. Janssens is there. He's really the last one left. The other guys are going to really start dropping off quick. 71 riders now. One of the front riders has been dropped. Probably not going to come back. Yeah, the gap's getting bigger. Up we go again. Janssens is going to get water. Why, dude? Why? Could have gotten water myself as the group thinned out. Rather have you protecting me. Go over the top on that one. Let's bring it back down and slow it down a little bit. Let's go ×2 now. Short, steep. Going up and out. Big crowd here.
It's in such percentages that the strongest can create some
Janssens never made it back. Never got the water to me. And that's why I didn't want him doing that. Group has not thinned out over the last couple climbs, though. Never mind. 22 were just dropped at the peak. 46 left. And it appears that this is not a yo-yo. 2 more drop off. 44 riders left.
The entente in the escape group is far from cordial. There are a couple of riders who want to go it alone.
Now the downside here is A, I need water. B, don't get dropped, please. I have no more team support. So, team's been... Oh, come on. I was right on Lutsenko's wheel, and now you're just gonna do this to me? I hate how this game does that sometimes. There was no reason for that. I was in contact, and then we just sit up and ride with the guys behind us that are falling out the back. Wasting energy. Okay, back in our strong position. Sit up. Didn't take much to get there. I mean, we were already down a bit, and the red bar's already coming back up. 3 climbs to go, technically, but more like 4. This next one's steep.
Frogs off.
The riders are going through a very tough portion with percentages above 10%.
The 8 riders, we've nearly caught them. We're down to 37 in the peloton. Now it's up to 45. Villalobos, Alaphilippe, going for attacks at the front. Villalobos still away.
A group of riders has come a cropper, but they all look ready to set off again.
Down to 24. Here's the secondary part of that climb. And we're about to pull him back in. There you go. Back up to 44 riders. Sam Uman. Bob Youngles. I tried to go effort up. It didn't work, but that's okay. 2 climbs to go. Down to 21 riders. Chasing Alaphilippe. I don't completely mind if Alaphilippe gets away. It's not my job to chase him down by myself. I'd rather take second than cost myself a top 5 at this point. I think Alaphilippe is a little bit out of my league. I'll try to take him to the final climb, but I certainly won't try to take him before that. 2 climbs to go. The next one, very short, very steep. Second one, again, short and steep. And it'll take us to the finish. 10K to go.
There's now just 10 kilometers left.
Almost there. I'm going to save my gel for the final climb. Okay, around this corner. Oh, we already caught him. I never saw us pull back Alaphilippe, but there he is right there.
Riders are on the ground.
And away he goes.
Too serious. The riders are in a portion above 10%. None of the favorites is giving an inch.
6K to go. Alaphilippe's gotten away. 4.8 kilometers. Use our gel. Sit on for now. Alaphilippe, 18-second lead. This will either win him or lose him the race. I'm probably going to go with the first of those. 2.2K to go. Okay, 1K to go. Valgren, Alaphilippe, Pierre Latour, 700 meters, 400 meters, and the sprint. Got my top 5. Valgren, Toynes for third place. Third place. Valgren takes a win over Dylan Toynes. I take third place ahead of Julian Alaphilippe, who did use too much energy staying out front. Didn't have enough for the sprint at the end. Max Schachmann takes 5th. Youngles, Latour, Van der Poel, Lambrecht, and Bernal. That's your top 10. Never even saw that Bernal was in the field until I see his name up there now. I He just comfortably rode inside. But there you go. Not only do I manage the top 5, but I do get a podium spot in 3rd place. Not my strongest discipline by any means, but unlike my PCM 18 career mode, Pro Cyclist Stage Racer, I really wanted to make sure that we were capable on hills. That it wasn't just at 85 that we were going to be strong, but at effort 95, we need to be strong as well. Didn't have to be the best, and we aren't. And that shows why we only take 3rd. But that was a good race. Good result. Not a win, but I'll take it. I'm not even sure I saw my name on the favorites list. Was it? Sure it was. It was up there somewhere. Definitely wasn't top 3, though. But that's going to do it for this episode of Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.